This is going to be fun. Good job, Jackson. We'll surprise Nick Fulton. And we've done this with guests, and it works. You're listening to the Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. The SEC Insider Hit this morning is brought to you by USA Pawn's mega store, I-55 South, McDowell Road. They've got locations all throughout central Mississippi, all the way to Vicksburg, up to Canton, and several other locations. USAPawn.com. Nick Fulton, managing partner, and he is the expert. He's the Nick Saban of buying and selling silver and gold. He joins us on the Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. Nick Fulton, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm awesome.
All right. I need to tell you how impressed I am with you and your wife. You had 2 kids get married within 4 months. All right, Miranda, love that her and Jason are together. Awesome. It was great to see her at Nicholas's wedding. And then we go to Nicholas's wedding in New Orleans, which was awesome. I love that venue that they picked. I thought it was super cool. But y'all are still sane and, you love each other. This should be, I don't know, y'all should consult people. You had 2 kids get married in 4 months, one in Cabo, one in New Orleans, and you pulled it off.
Well, maybe you should ask Michelle, Yeah, now it's our turn. We want to do some traveling.
Yeah.
We're talking about going to Germany and France and places like that, and time to spend money on us.
No question.
But you know what? Was that not fun in New Orleans?
Wendy and I had a blast. It was so, first of all, I didn't know what y'all were doing, and Wendy and I talked about it for like a week after. I love the format or whatever. So right when we got bounced out of the Uber, I saw you, gave you a hug, saw Michelle, and y'all did it to where people were sitting down at tables.
Yeah.
And then there was the wedding. I thought that was such a cool factor.
And that was improvised.
Okay. Because
we were going to have it outside, but because of the rain, they moved it inside.
I didn't think about that.
And it just worked out perfectly.
It was awesome.
And Nicholas and Harrison, of course, they were hooting and hollering. They wanted to give them a shout out because they're listed to us down there in Dallas.
Nicholas Fulton, Harrison Putt, and John Gathings.
Yes.
These guys are all over. They love the show, and we need young people listening to the show. So 2 of them are in Dallas, Nicholas and Harrison, doing great in commercial real estate. John's up in Nashville, so shout out to those guys. They stream it. They hit the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Go ahead, though. And the wedding was great.
Right before you walked in, we were passing around what was the remnants of a 10-year-old Pappy Van Winkle.
I saw that picture.
And, because we did the toast in the groom suite while we were all getting our tuxes on and stuff like that. And, I broke it open. And, of course, I made a joke. I was like, here's the toast. If he comes to you and says, get me out of here, you got to get him out of here. So whichever one of y'all is responsible. And then we were like, cheers.
Right.
But when we got to the venue, they were like, you can't, they didn't want us touching any of the beer or anything like that. So we were passing around. There was like, a couple of sips left. And
yeah, I need to also give Nicholas and his bride, what's her name?
Claudia.
Some props. Wendy and I thought we had the record at 19 minutes. I don't believe that weddings need to go on. People are there, quite frankly, they're supportive. They're excited. They're looking for beverage and food. Okay. Let's get to
that's true.
They knocked it out. I can't remember if it was 17 minutes or 15 minutes.
It was fast.
It was the shortest wedding and I just want to give them they're in the Hall of Fame because of that. We sat down, we met this other couple from Nashville, and all of a sudden, you and Nicholas and everybody comes in, Claudia comes in, everybody looks fabulous, and then it's over. And I'm like, oh, and then I'm right by the bar. It was fantastic.
That's Nicholas Fulton to a T. It's like yada yada yada, yeah. Let's do this.
Yeah, and it was very low. They may have been. Now, Nicholas has got a real good kind of let it all kind of play out type deal. But it wasn't like nerve wracking. They felt super calm when they
And
were
then
up
there
there
was the
exchanging
dance-off.
vows. The dance off was hilarious when you and Nicholas and others we were laughing and
That was
drinking
part
and having
two,
a great
because
time.
we did it in Mexico as well.
Oh, you and Jason. And
No, it was Nicholas and
You
I.
and Nicholas went
did
at
the
it.
dance
Okay.
off. And it was tequila in Mexico.
I love premium tequila.
And it was,
Got some right there.
he got my face, and it was like, okay, all right. But if you saw the one we had in New Orleans, I mean, I had just done the Running Man, and I was exhausted. And then he came back and did some crazy
I know he was
leg thing.
Yeah, he pulled the leg. I thought I would tear my ACL.
I could have done that 10 years ago, but I think I did the sprinkler and just kind of like folded into the crowd.
I thought that was a pretty good move when you went
just
through.
folded into the crowd. I was spent. I was done.
Okay, that was awesome.
And then I went and got some shrimp,
which was fantastic.
For the appetizers, I mean, it was all hot, and usually you don't get hot stuff coming around on trays.
On location. No doubt. I thought it was really hot. The shrimp were great. And every time I turned around, there was someone with food.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Claudia Michelle did a wonderful job.
Yeah.
Planning all that out.
Yeah. I saw her the next morning she doesn't know me. I'd never met her, and she doesn't remember me, and she shouldn't, because she had all her close friends there. But the next morning in the elevator where we all stayed, where did we, the Westin?
The Westin.
Yeah. So I was down trying to find coffee or something, and her and her mom were in the elevator, and I was like, I was trying to piece it together. I went, "You're the bride," and she looked at me like, "Who the hell are you?" But I thought that was funny. It was a great wedding though, and I give you and Michelle props for pulling that off, having one kid get married in Cabo and one in New Orleans in 4 months, and everything going well. All right, Nick Fulton, USA Pawn. He's the Nick Saban of buying and selling gold and silver. USAPawn.com. Nick joins us on the Out of Bounds show. I got to ask you another question. We dove into a topic, and our listeners went nuts this morning. The app that's changed your life. So I was talking about how much there's a combo for me. Twitter, I've taken over 330 Uber rides. Uber's been great. And then Maps, just to be able to put anything in your phone and get there. There's some others, but is there an app? Now for women, Kroger, and guys, Walmart, Chick-fil-A, those apps. Is there an app that you can think of that you're like, this is my go-to, this is my game changer app?
Yeah. For me, I mean, it's been Facebook.
Okay. Yeah.
Because of the, being able to reach out to, people that I don't see
Right.
on a daily basis, and free marketing for our business.
Sure.
I mean, it is absolutely the easiest way to reach our customers.
Us too.
I mean, TV, we used to spend, thousands of dollars every month in TV, and now you've got streaming. So it's very hard to hit your clients, but now, we can hit them and know exactly, we can do it by age, by gender.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You can set it up.
It's been Facebook,
Okay. Was there one thing? Is there a second?
Twitter.
Yeah.
I get all my news through Twitter.
Yeah.
And I've got a great silver community that I deal with on Twitter.
I see the people.
I mean, you get, 10,000 comments and 10,000,
Sure.
views on certain posts and stuff. Learning about certain, especially scams.
Yeah.
There's so much fake gold and fake silver running around throughout the country.
Imagine.
It's incredible. I mean, every day we spent, thousands of dollars on equipment to test, but I tell the public all the time, don't buy from non-reputable people. Don't buy it off Facebook Marketplace. Don't meet up with somebody. Don't buy anything at a parking lot of a gas station.
No.
I mean, these people wake up every morning with the intent, I'm going to screw somebody out of their hard-earned cash.
No. Nick Fulton, USA Pawn on the Out of Bounds show. What else? Oh, Uber. When I'm by myself, which is a lot throughout my life traveling, I don't get in the front seat. That's not me. I think it's a personality thing. The people that do that don't. I sit in the back seat. Now, if I'm with Wendy and the kids, somebody may have to get in the front. Some people get in the back. Doesn't bother me. But if I'm just in an Uber, like in New Orleans, I'm getting in the back seat. Do you sit in the front or do you sit in the back? If you don't have to.
I sit in the back.
Me too. Me too. I mean, I don't need to be right.
Makes me feel special.
Yeah. Well, and I can, like I told Jackson, I can kind of set the table for how much I want to talk or engage.
Yep. Turn the Def Leppard up. Let's enjoy this 15-minute ride.
That's right. All right. Was there anything else that we wanted to?
Let's talk about gold and silver.
All right, let's do that.
Let's talk about gold. The last time I was on the show was back in December.
Was it really?
Yeah, back in December, and we were talking about it then. Since that time, gold's up 28%.
Gold's
and
up 20.
Silver is up 20%. And I kept trying to tell people, they're like, well, I'll just wait till it comes down. You know, so the same people that were telling me when gold was at $2,000 is now slapping themselves because it's, $3,400.
$3,400.
And silver just hit $37 yesterday. Yeah, that's my I had those made. Those are silver knuckles. They're not brass knuckles, they're silver knuckles. So
Jackson?
It's legitimate, $350 worth of silver.
Is it really?
Yeah.
This thing's heavy.
Yeah, not as heavy as this.
Okay, let me check that out.
That's a bullet.
Good grief.
A 20 millimeter.
Looks like I'm in the Revolutionary
25
War.
ounce. That's $1,000.
$1,000.
And
This
silver
thing is awesome.
is up 12% in the last 30 days. When we were talking about this, you were like, what would you buy? Would you buy gold, silver? And I said, I would buy silver, but I have bought gold.
Right.
But, 12.5% increase in price in the last 30 days. It's on fire. It's not going to stop.
Oh, really?
Mm-mm. The all-time high for silver is $50, around $50. And right now it's at 37. So it has not seen the high. Gold is trading at an all-time high.
Gold is trading at, all right. So what, why?
A hedge against inflation is always the biggest thing. Recently, the last couple of days, war in Israel, that I knew that was going to happen.
Right.
When the bombing started, you could see the prices start going up across the board. But it's people know that they're $1,000 10 years ago is not worth $1,000.
No.
But $1,000 worth of gold 10 years ago is worth a lot more than $10,000.
Right.
So it's a hedge.
Right. Okay. So how do you walk us through a couple of different ways that USA Pawn incorporates that into your business? I mean, you've gone through all this training.
Right.
You've traveled all over.
Yes.
Y'all are reputable. You know it. You're an expert in gold and silver. Walk me through the different ways that y'all.
So there's several different kind of transactions. There's the transaction where somebody comes in, they've got broken gold, broken chains, one earring because they've lost the other one, and they're looking to cash in. And we just run through a testing procedure. Depending on the amount, I can probably have you in and out in less than 10 minutes, cash in hand. And that's a big part of our business right now. People are like shocked when we tell them how much it is and how fast they got that money.
How about that?
They'll come in with a little small baggie and you're like, $3,200. And they're like, what? $3,200? That's 2 house payments.
Right.
And they're happy as can be and they're on their way.
Win-win.
Then we've got the ones that come in and they're looking to buy bullion. So coins, bars, that kind of stuff. Matter of fact, I got an order this morning for $70,000 for a guy that's buying some U.S. gold coins.
Nice.
So, I mean, it's, can we handle any transaction? I wouldn't say our biggest has been $1 million. I think our biggest has been $250,000. Mm-hmm. But, reputation says a lot. 33 years in business is how long we've been doing this. And we've got 6 locations. It's about trust, and I want them to get the most bang for their buck. And so we try to avoid premiums on our metals. Sometimes like the Silver Eagles require a little bit extra above the spot price. But for the most part, we try to be as fair as possible, especially when buying. I think I got a question from Kilpatrick.
Yeah.
Jay. Yeah. Hit me up on one of our posts, and he's like, how much do you pay per ounce? And that's not a question I can answer because it depends on the volume. And so if I said we offer $1 below an ounce, I'm wrong, because if you're bringing me in, 10,000 ounces,
right,
it's not going to be $1 below. It might be 50 cents. It might be 25 cents.
Right.
It depends on the volume. So, like I said, we've got all the equipment. We've spent thousands of dollars on equipment, thousands of dollars
certification
on
training.
Absolutely.
Nick Fulton, USA Pawn managing partner. He is he's the guy when it comes to buying and selling gold and silver. USAPawn.com, 6 locations, and of course the mega store is I-55 South McDowell Road. It's 35,000 square feet. 34,000 square feet. I-55 South McDowell Road, USA Pawn. Yeah. Did you ever see this being this big of a part of? If I would have asked you 25, 30 years ago when you started, Nick, do you see this part of the business being?
No, had no clue. Back in the 80s, it was $280 an ounce. Gold was $280 an ounce. Imagine if your dad was buying gold at $300 an ounce, and then
hello.
Yeah. And I don't want to say it's tax-free. It is tax-free when you buy it. There's no tax on gold and silver coins and bullion. Of course, there's tax on jewelry, but when you come in and buy it, if it's $300, it's $300. There's no tax. And, we fought that and had that passed in the legislature a few years ago.
Nice.
And it was a big thing for the state of Mississippi.
Okay. Out of Bounds, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. Bo Bounds, Nick Fulton with you. Nick with USA Pawn, 6 locations. You've been on a million times, but I want you to act like we're talking to people that have never heard you on the show. So when you say not your typical pawn shop, tell our listeners what that means.
Well, you're a living testimony. I ran into you and I said, hey, we want to be part of your show. And we want to be a sponsor. We want to, be a part of the sports community. And you looked at me like I was a blooming idiot when I told you I was with a pawn shop.
This is accurate.
It's true. You were like, you kind of blew me off. And I was like, come visit the store. And so when you walked in and you looked around, you're like, oh, okay. I see what you're talking about. Then I brought you to the mega store, and when I say it's not your typical pawn shop, it's not like what you see on TV. In the movies, they portray us as these, fat old men smoking cigars, and it's dark, and we're buying stolen stuff out the back of the store. It's not like that. It's not how Hollywood portrays us. We are like your consignment shops. Consignments are cool, right?
Right.
Retro, cool.
Yeah.
Recycle. We are the world's biggest recycler. If you think about it,
this is good.
You're reselling, you're buying diamonds and gold, so there's no dirt being dug up, there's no rocks being no country being destroyed and mined. It's being recycled. It's sold over and over and over. So when they go to that jewelry store and they think they're buying a brand new ring made just for them, and the diamond was mined for them out of Russia, it probably came from a pawn shop in Detroit, and it could have been a nipple ring. I'm serious. It could have. It's refined over and over and over, and that's what's cool about being in the pawn shop business, is that we recycle and we rehome items: TVs, computers, game systems, guitars,
and it's spacious.
Yes,
it's clean. It's nice. Like you said, you've got Apple iPads. You've got smart TVs. You've got your jewelry section. You've got guns. You've got sports memorabilia.
And when you park your car, you don't have to walk 10 miles.
No.
It's right there at the front door.
You walk 5 feet to get in the mega store. That was good. That's something that I should have. We've done this for so long. When you say it's not your typical pawn shop, the experience that y'all have given your customer is second to none. And you and Brian and Michelle and Rochelle and everybody take pride in that.
We have an excellent team. They continue to.
And y'all do training for them.
Yes. We spend thousands of dollars every month for training, but with any successful business, you have to continue to try to be better.
Right.
And so for us, that's every day. How can I make the customer's experience better than it was the last time?
Right.
If we're not smiling, if we're not having a good time, if you don't get that warm Chick-fil-A feeling when you walk in our door, then we failed.
Right. 6 locations, USA Pawn, usapawn.com. The mega stores, I-55 South, McDowell Road, 34,000 square feet. Nick Fulton, the expert in buying and selling silver and gold, and you believe that there's more runway for both.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I put my money where my mouth is.
Sure.
I'm buying and selling gold and silver every day.
Right.
But on a personal level, I think silver's the buy.
Okay.
I've been saying that for 2 years, and it's
yeah, you got me buying
true.
it.
Yep.
So, I mean,
and you were at 26.
Yeah.
I think you bought yours at 26, and now it's 37. So,
I like it.
Don't you wish you'd have bought like $1 million more?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. What's happening the next 2 months? You go anywhere?
I'm going to try. I mean, and we keep saying that. Michelle keeps like looking at me every time I say it. I guess, we're looking at going to Boston and just going up there and then like renting a car and drive up the East Coast and visit a couple of small towns
all day long.
Martha's Vineyard and whatever else. I mean, she's been there. I've never been.
Okay.
You've been to Boston?
I haven't. I've only been up to New York.
So, I mean, I've heard the historical part of it was pretty incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
And lobster.
I want to do the New England states.
Yep.
And you can hit them, quick. Like you said, rent an SUV and or for you, a convertible. You're kind of a convertible guy.
I'd prefer a Jeep.
Okay.
If I'm going to rent one and drive up and down, I'd rather have the Jeep with the top down.
All right. When are we going to smash a steak in Bourbon?
We're open every day.
Yeah, you and I are both empty nesters.
Have you played Top Golf?
Yeah.
How'd you do?
Ooh, it wasn't good, but I had a great time.
Yeah.
I went with the Elijah Craig crew. It was funny.
Oh, well, I guess so.
The 2 guys came in from Birmingham, and we ended up at Top Golf. It was fun.
My game gets better and better, and scorecard wise, anyway.
You damn right. It was great to see you, my man. Next time we'll do gold and silver again.
Yeah.
And sports memorabilia.
I'll bring a giveaway.
Yes.
I'll bring a giveaway next time.
Good to see you, my man.
Always
Tell
a pleasure.
Michelle I said hello.
Thank you.
Nick Fulton, managing partner, USA Pawn, 6 locations. usapawn.com and their mega store, I-55 South, McDowell Road, 34,000 square feet. Gold and silver is on fire. This guy's been in front of this thing for years, and he is the expert in the area. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. The Out of Bounds show is powered by usapawn.com.